What you did there, or heard what you did there.
And oh!
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to our 4th episode. I'm Adam Tannick, and this is
Chad Phillips.
And today we have a great show for you today. We're going to address one of the troll comments. We're going to talk a little bit about the live streaming and some news to bring up as well. But first, we're going to kind of go team by team and talk about their games. First up, we have...
I don't know. Who do you want to do first?
We'll start with first in division, the Sand Vipers.
Okay, go. That's what... Sand Vipers.
Yes, so yeah, 13-3 right now. I would say our pitching is carrying us big time. The thing about our 13-3 record is very deceiving because there's just been so many one-run games that the record could easily be, like a 3-13 with some of our close games there.
How many in a row had you won after that Snappers' first game there yesterday or Monday?
Oh, we had. Did we have quite a few? I don't remember.
I think it was 7 or 8 or 9 in a row. I'm pretty sure. And boy, they really had to bear down. And Shane Weber pitched a gem in that second game, and it seemed like the Sand Vipers were on him, but they just couldn't get across. And there was a lot of discussion from the Sand Vipers that I heard on the side. And the next thing I look out there, and Shane tossed the ball back to Taylor. And I think that was a really smart move. And Taylor mowed right through the last inning. Adam has struggled with Taylor a little more than Shane, I feel, and they made a good move and got the save in there, and they knocked off your winning streak. 13-3 is pretty good, though.
Yeah, I mean, that can help us get into the playoffs. I hope we can hold that #1 spot. But yeah, speaking of which, those 3 losses, second place, the Calicos only have 4 losses.
Yeah, yep. They've won some shorthanded games, too. They have a very good core of players. If they can develop their secondary players like Joe Kuther and Barry Hutter start hitting, because their core is just incredible of Stein, Maddie, Nicky, and Alex. And Barry and Joe kind of fit in and hit. They're going to be unstoppable. I had the Calicos #2 in my power rankings, only because I was too chicken to take you guys out of the top spot. I probably should have had the Calicos 1, but now that we see, they're probably not 1. They're probably more in the middle here, 3 or 4, the way that it looks. Very strong squad, though.
Well, before we go down to the next team, I want to ask you, what's up? Looks like you got a haircut today.
Oh, I did. I don't know. My hairdresser's been talking about doing this to me for a while, so I told her to get me ready for TV tonight, and she dyed my hair and cut my hair, and I don't know.
All right, well, the Bombers, let's see. Oh, well, before the Calicos had a transaction this week. They added, it looks like a Mark Hickey, is that correct?
Oh, yeah, Mark Hickey, yes.
To their 10-man roster.
Left-handed hitter, pretty good hitter. He's a doubles hitter. I'm not sure he's got any pitching ability yet, but he's quick and athletic, and he's got good hand-eye, so he should be a decent addition to their team.
Yeah, that's a big pickup, getting a lefty in their lineup there.
Yeah, lefties are hard to come by on at this point.
So the Bombers, what do you think about the Bombers this week?
Boy, they're intense out there. They want to win games bad, and they're getting better at being intense and competing on the field and keeping it, in their squad and working hard. And I think they might be the best team in the league. To be honest with you, they're going to be really tough to beat. Jim came in last night as focused as I've ever seen him. He wanted those last few outs bad, and he got them. He was intense. One of the pitches didn't get a read on it, and you could just see he was ready to blow his head off, but we were able to investigate and find the speed on that pitch, and it did look like it was a good strike. We were going to have to no-pitch it just because we had a couple in that game that were no-pitch, so we had to stay consistent, but we were able to get that at 52 miles per hour and give him strike 1 there, which kept him engaged.
Looking at the Bombers and looking at a lot of teams, TJ's going to hate me. All the Bombers are going to hate me for saying this, but I feel like the Bombers are close to their potential. I feel all their players are about as good as they're going to be. I don't see anyone struggling that's going to all of a sudden just step way up. I think they're all kind of playing pretty well, which brings us to the next team on the list. And 4th place is the Ones, who I think they still have a lot more potential. They haven't found their potential yet.
Of course. And I would just like to throw Jim Dodos one more shout out. He's got some room to go. He's not really playing that well. He's not hitting that well.
Jim's not playing that well, but we've seen Jim's potential.
Oh, okay, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Well, when he cares, and it seems like he's really caring every game now, so I think that we're going to see that potential again come soon. So
slow off, speed outside to Jim.
Slow, everybody. There's the book. Everybody write that down. Scouting report is out. Back to the Ones.
Yeah, all right, the Ones. Their win streak ended. when they lost to the Snappers.
No, the Tomahawks.
Oh, Tomahawks.
Tomahawks beat him
yeah.
in that last game.
Yeah.
Billy Osgood, the first game, he did struggle a little bit, and they hit him, and you could see he had a different look in his eye that second game, and he got through another couple of errors with Brad Ogden really struggling throwing the ball
We're talking
last
about
night.
the ones, yeah.
Oh, that's how the Tomahawks beat the ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the Brad Ogden. Yeah, I saw Brad Ogden today. He came by, actually. He brought us a lot of pallets. Thanks again, Brad. He was just really frustrated with all the throwing errors.
Yeah.
You know, he was lighthearted about it, but he's like, man, those 7 runs all scored because of, my errors there. So, which brings, one note I had written down today was the running and throwing rule. Like, right now, there's no rule for that. But when you're watching the stream and you're watching on camera and you're a new viewer and you see this ball hit to the third baseman, the shortstop, and all of a sudden Joel does this too, Adrian does this too, running in with the ball, running, and then throwing it, and then everyone watching is like, what is going on? So one thing that, not this season, maybe next season, one thing I would like to talk to all the managers about is making it where once you field the ball, you can take 1, maybe 2 steps. Just
1 or 2 or 3. Yeah, just
limiting that running because it just looks bad and it's not. Make the throw. Like play baseball. Make the throw.
Absolutely. It does look silly to me, and but there's nothing you can do about it. We get the rules as they are at this point, and they're working really well. So stick with them for now. But we can, as players start to improve, we can tighten things up a little bit and make it so you got to take a step or two and throw the ball. You can set yourself, get your grip. You got time to do what you got to do, but running is a little excessive sometimes, but that's where we're at right now, though. So
that's where we're at now. We do have that March 27th tournament. It seems like we're going to have quite a few teams actually coming from out of town. If you're watching this and you've been talking to me and you haven't paid yet, go ahead and get that in because we're going to be running out of spots. I've had more people that have said they wanted to play than we can take in right now, but. It's not real until
it's
they
not
make
real
that
until
donation.
the 250 is here. That's right.
Yep. So moving on, the ones. Okay, so the ones. So something I want to say about the ones. Obviously their offense is the best offense in the league right now. I don't think you can argue that. The Tomahawks do have a higher batting average, but it's just far as OPS and production. The ones.
They're basically all home run hitters, and Scottez might not quite be a home run hitter yet, but he hits the ball so hard that he's just.
Dobbins was terrible last night. He went like 0 for 9.
No, Dobbins wasn't terrible. Dobbins was fine.
He can't hit the ball.
No, he just
He can't hit the ball past anybody.
He's on the wrong side of variance. Dobbins rakes, and he's just struggling a little. It's just like baseball. That BABIP is real. It's hard to find holes out there. He's going to have to learn to go the opposite way a little more. Did you see the one he hit off the third baseman's
hit it off Billy's chest?
Is that what it hit? I couldn't.
And then Billy
so
didn't even do anything. He just hit off his chest, flew over, and
shortstop just threw his arm up and caught it.
Yeah, Brad caught it. Yeah. But yeah, I guess right now with the ones, we're going to be playing them Monday. Okay. It's going to be a tough match. I want to say if you just get through Cody, then it's game over. But the thing was on Monday. They didn't have Cody, and they still won both those games.
Well, that was against the Warbirds, though, and we weren't hitting at all. We're slumping so much. I mean, Ray didn't pitch that well against us at all. Ryan came in and threw a couple of good innings against us, and who else threw? One other guy threw. I can't remember.
Was it Couts or?
Oh, yeah, AK. He threw a couple innings against us. He was effective. We didn't really get any hits off of him. He just walked himself out both games, I believe, eventually, and Couts has definitely struggled with the walks a little bit so far. I did see his stats. He had 15 walks in 7 innings. But nobody's really hit him yet. So if he can dial it in a little better, then he's going to he'll be all right.
So someone in our live stream we had Melissa Ferris come by from Girl Chat Sports.
Okay.
Have you seen Girl Chat Sports?
I actually have not.
Okay. They have a little podcast. I kind of looked it up. They have their podcast on 10 different platforms. And they're on Instagram and Twitter with a little bit of a following. But yeah, all the Trench, all the other announcers in their mock, they said, she did really.
They looked like they were having a lot of fun. I didn't actually get to watch any of the live stream from down in the field, and I really couldn't hear much of their chatter. But they all were smiling all game long. Sarah and Melissa and Trench, and the 2 booths going for the first time I saw last night. It was very impressive back there how things are coming along.
One of the things that we kind of leveled up on, I guess, is we're going to be getting a little soundboard that was suggested by Mock, and so the broadcasters can have headphones plugging into the soundboard, and that's going to get the volume a lot better. I think that was just the only kind of blemish in the live stream last night once we fixed the Wi-Fi issue and got the Ethernet back there. But I guess with the soundboard, when you're plugging in, if you have to cough or something, you can mute your own, and then it doesn't affect anything else.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on to our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th place team at 7-7, the Warbirds. Is it time to hit the panic button?
Well, let's see what my arm is doing here, man. My arm has just been barking the last couple weeks. I just overdid it early in the season, which I think you kind of told me I was going to do, and I guess my arm isn't invincible. I'm okay. It's just a strain, it seems, and I can still throw a few pitches here and there, but I definitely got to take it easy. Matt Patricus he's looking really good, though. I think he can horse a bunch of innings for us right now. If he can get that thing under 55 and learn what Tom's taught him to get his finger in the ball once in a while to take a little pop off of it, he's going to be unhittable. And KJ looked pretty good last time. He has a lot of little arm angles, and he's tough to hit, and he's tough to, as long as we don't feature him too long and too many innings, I think he can get a couple innings for us. And Brian Pewter is always ready to go. He matches up better against some teams than others. I don't think he understands this as much. He's such a gamer. He just thinks it's the same always. But, I kind of knew the ones was going to be a tough spot for him. Mm-hmm. They just are baseball players that hit righty and wreck lefties. It's just what they are.
It seems that the Warbirds, it was just 5 straight losses.
It seems,
5 that the team's a little kind of back and forth with, feeling down a little bit after the good start.
Yeah, we're all right, I think.
Yeah,
we're all right. We lost a couple of close ones. We knew we were in trouble against the ones there without me being able to throw many pitches, and it's all good.
So the trade for Pewter for Walker is now off the table?
I don't know. Did Walker void that? I thought that you said Walker was going to be the one that didn't want to be part of that.
We can't trade Walker. We can't trade Walker.
We don't want to trade Pewter either. He's our soul of our team. Mm-hmm. On our team chat, he's got the Warbird flying every day, so... Yeah, it's all good. We'll bounce out of this slump.
Walker dealing with recovery from his car accident, and he said he might have to go in maybe for surgery, but he would give us a 2-week notice. So Sand Vipers, with only 5 players on the roster, we might end up looking to go out there and get another player.
Oh, you're missing all the good players. They're all getting picked up here.
Walker's getting
You got your boy Chris Gishwinder now you can grab.
Yeah, well, Gishwinder, talking with him, it looks like he's going to want to put his Titans team into the Challengers tournament. He's going to bring in, he knows a lot of good pitchers. Are they going to be able to adjust in time? He's a gamer. He's a winner. I think he's going to put it together a pretty good team, and whoever the 2 teams from our league that gets demoted, they're gonna have to beat the Titans to be able to stay in the league.
Well, it's good to have some competitive team, a 9th team here ready to go to keep everybody on their toes. It's definitely going to be tough for a 9th team to beat a team that's just played a 42-game schedule and is hungry to stay in the league. We'll see if that's the case when we get to that point.
Yep. Last week's video comment. Someone left a comment. It was Stein. He was saying, "Let's effing go," to the Sun Devils jersey that I had on. The Sun Devils is actually our adult league team that kind of the Sand Vipers transitioned to the Sun Devils. Sand Vipers we started like 12 years ago and everything. But if you guys have any questions or anything, leave comments. If you want to, new topics to bring about, always just leave comments. We'll be looking at those and bringing them up.
100%. We see everything.
Yeah.
There's a few of us, and one of us always sees it, and we try and address everybody to keep this as, feel like you're interacting with this league.
So, moving on. Anything else to say about the Warbirds here?
Oh, I don't know. Nate Sariski looks like he hurt his wrist a little bit, and he's going to be on, we'll call it the 12-day DL, because we're hoping to have him back for next Monday. Hopefully he just misses this 1 week of games here. So
speaking of the DL, because I know the Tomahawks, when we get to them, they picked up a player and had to put they have a few
Kenny
injuries.
Tracy is on the DL
So
currently.
we'll get to that in a second. But I guess, what should we do for the DL? Should it be... how's it done in MLB? There's like a 10-day DL. Now that I heard there's a 7-day IL. We should figure that out.
What we could definitely do is have the managers have to pay a fee to put somebody on the DL. Like Jason wanted to bring his team to an 11th player. Maybe that's a $10 cost to their team to utilize that, because we don't want people angling the DL and getting extra players. And
well, they don't angle it in MLB because it has to be there for a certain amount of time. They can't come off of it.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're kind of trying to angle that, and then you have a player stuck in the DL, you can't bring it back for a while. Yeah, and then once they do come back, now you got to make a decision on your roster and get it back down to 10.
You're right.
Let us know in the comments below. We'll also be asking players as well. How long should the DL be? We play 4 games a week. On average.
2 Monday, 2 Thursday. So
yeah, and there's some sprinkled on the weekends. So yeah, leave it in the comments below. Should it be a 10-day DL? Should it be less? Let us know. Moving on now.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th place now. Snappers, go.
The Snappers look great with their 1-2 tandem here. Weber and Briner both working as a team together to get the pitching done right now. Mavro's ready to pitch. He was out there. The Snappers were out in the dark last night, 2 hours after their game. Michael, Jelani, Shane teaching Michael how to pitch. They're working harder than any team in this league right now. So they want it. So I see them as higher than 6th place coming forward. I have a bet against Jesse, and I'm not as happy as I was when we were 7-2. Let me tell you. And the Snappers got both games.
Was this who's going to finish better?
Yeah, that's all it was. $50. Warburg. That's the biggest bet I make too. I keep them all at $20 just to keep it friendly, but they got me for $50 because I was so confident on this one. And
$50.
I might be in trouble here. We're gonna.
What do you guys think? Who's going to finish better, Snappers or Warbirds? Leave in the comments now, and then we can go back and look at it at the end of the season. I'm going to pick the Snappers, but it depends on how motivated the Warbirds are. Maybe they might, maybe find another player. It's tough. If you have some guys in your team kind of struggling, that's why we try to keep it down to just 5 on our Sand Viper squad. But speaking of which, we are going to be starting the Taco League, which is the Tuesday League.
I'm kind of excited for it, actually. I hope it really develops and becomes a Challengers League to the complimentary league to our big league,
So the Taco League is going to be all the same rules as PLW. It's just going to be on Tuesday. There'll be teams, there'll be stats, there'll be competing. But players that have qualified for innings in the PLW won't be able to play in the Taco League.
Yes.
So none of us will be able to play. The exception is someone like maybe a Nate on your team, or somebody that hasn't pitched could go down, not hit, but just join a team and get some pitching work in there. Yeah. So the Taco League is going to be a great way to kind of help develop some of the players, or if a player's struggling, you can still keep them on your roster, have them go down there and get some extra playing time.
Yeah, working out the details of it still, but it's coming into, it's figuring in really well. It should definitely be a nice complimentary league to the PLW and a way to improve so you can get picked up by a PLW team. If you could be in the Taco League and we need a player, it's like, well, who's the best player in the Taco League right now? Look at this. He's crushing it. Boom. We got a new player.
Sorry, we picked him up already.
You did?
Yep, we signed. Yeah, beat you to it.
Damn it. We're going to have some rules on that, too.
We'll have to figure out the rules for that because it won't be a draft system.
Correct.
They'll just be there, and as soon as someone takes somebody, the rosters are going to be being full, because what can happen is they can grab somebody, sign them, and then keep them in the Taco League for a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of options. This could work out really interesting as more people continue to flow in here. It could hopefully we got a good system here to keep the talent up and people working to become talented enough to compete against us.
And final note on the Snappers before we move on to the next team. We played against them. We split. We won 1-0, and then we lost 2-1. One of the things I can say about the Snappers, I think they would have taken both of them from us if Taylor would have hit. Taylor couldn't hit Trench. He didn't. That sidearm pitch Trench was throwing, Taylor was missing by like this much, and he doesn't miss that much. So by taking his bat away, we were able to hold their offense.
Did you see the first pitch Maccabee threw last night?
No.
First pitch of the game, Taylor hit it 50 feet over the fence, right down the line. They were kind of arguing that it was foul, whatever.
It was definitely fair. Yeah.
It was fair by a mile, and it was gone by a mile, and it was like, welcome to the game. But that was the only run Mock gave up. He settled in and got the win there. So
the thing about Maccabee is when he was practicing, at home, he didn't have a gun. So when he was thinking was 55, was 45. Then he comes in against us, and he's throwing these meatballs. Meatballs, Mock, meatballs.
You'll figure it out, Mock. Keep coming. Let's keep making their drive down. We love having you.
He looked like he figured it out, was more in the speed and the right thing last night.
He really looked like he was in his element announcing last night, too. He was kind of in the zone up there and talking, smiling the whole time. It was good to see.
All right, now we're moving on here.
Number 7.
To the Tomahawks. But first, I wanted to bring up, something tragic that happened yesterday. I don't know if anyone was following our Facebook. Adrian Mejia, 16-year-old player from the Desert Oasis. That's where Cody Schmidt and Ryan Chen, I believe. Is that right, guys? Your coaches there? He woke up in the morning. We won't say exactly what happened, but both his parents had passed. And so he's alone now. If you guys go to our Facebook page, we posted a GoFundMe. They started the GoFundMe. We posted it on our page. It was like at 8,000. I checked it before this. It's over 20,000 now for what they're trying to raise. Not that we had much to do with that. I mean, they're just the community's really getting behind him. So if you have a chance, go to our Facebook page, the GoFundMe, help him out. 16-year-old kid, very tragic.
Yeah, awful.
Now we're moving on here. We have the Tomahawks. Tomahawks are dealing with a lot of injuries right now, and we had talked about that. They added Casey Taravella to their lineup. I saw him playing a little bit. Good swing. Obviously, he's got to adjust to wiffle ball like everybody else, but I think he's going to be a good pickup for them.
Yeah, they threw some actually nasty, unfair pitches to him last night. It was he was a little overmatched a couple times. Anybody was going to be overmatched. It was just tough what he faced. But he ripped a double off the wall in the second game, and that was a huge win. I want to say it again for the Tomahawks. They were flailing. They're missing their manager last night and playing a team that was on fire. And Billy really, really, really deserves a nod here for that game yesterday. Great work, Billy, to take down that one's winning streak. I was sick of looking at it. So.
Yeah. No one wants too long winning streak.
No,
I love the parity in the league right now. There's a lot of it's all really close, except when you get down to the next team. That's the Stonemen. The Stonemen, they're 2-15 right now.
Really close, but let's give the Stonemen some credit for yesterday. They had a 0-0 game into extra innings. They just got to get one clutch hit somewhere. Although Stein, they hadn't seen Stein. He's a wiffle ball guru, and they hadn't seen him before. But they played a great game, and they lost it in extras there, which was understandable. And then in the second game, a poor decision by Levi, which he knows, to try and roll that double play, and that cost him the run. That game was going to be 0-0 into extras too, potentially.
I remember that. We had one out. We had
first and third.
Ball hit, thrown to Levi. Levi gets it. There's no time to make the double play. I don't even think a 95-mile-an-hour throw perfect makes that. Maybe it's a strike zone. It's just such a gamble.
Yeah.
He goes for it. Safe. They don't get out of the inning. That allows a run to score from third. If you don't make the throw...
Yeah, so if it's first and third and you eat the ball at second base, you take your force out at second, then the guy stays at third. But the minute you attempt that double play, that run scores. So if there's one out, sometimes maybe you gamble, because if you turn the double play, the inning's over. But if there's no out, then that run's always scoring from third in that spot. So it's a decision to make, and you got to have that, know what you're doing already before that ball's put in play a lot of times.
And it depends on the score as well.
There's so much strategy in the PLW. It's just almost more strategy than baseball with this curving, whiffling thing. It's just crazy sometimes.
And your defense isn't set. You have to constantly overshift and make moves.
You do have to exaggerate situations in wiffle ball a little bit. And like TJ can't hit the ball down the third base line. So if you're playing against the Bombers and your TJ is up and you have a third baseman, you're doing it wrong. It's just that simple.
He likes to go up. I've seen him hit it down the line, but that was maybe a year ago.
It was an accident. He's waiting back. TJ's smart. He doesn't want to jump at the pitch early. He wants to see it break late and then whack it up the middle, and he's very good at it. But that's just a way that squeeze those defenders all in the middle against TJ. You got a better chance of getting them out.
Well, before we run out of time, some notes with the Stonemen as well. They made some roster moves. The Sasai, who they had called up, had a couple hits, so they added him to the roster. And then Joe Carpenter, who I think, he came out. We had played baseball together a while ago. I threw him a lot of pitches, and he never missed the ball.
Jeez.
He hit maybe 2 home runs or something. These were batting practice, and there were some around 50, and so he just never really missed the ball. He didn't make perfect line drives every time, but he's going to be tough to strike out. I think he's going to adjust pretty well. Off the mound, he threw some strikes. I mean, it's going to take him a while to adjust as well, but I think that's not a bad gamble for them. But to do that, that put him in a full roster. So they waived Chris Gijwinder. The reason is Chris with Little League and stuff, he's not able to make a lot of games anymore, and Chris does want to bring his own team in. So this is a good move for Chris.
Chris would be a great manager as well. You could see he had a great attitude, and he really understood what was going on. So hopefully he can bring a challenging team into the league, or a second challenging team. Or
I mean, if he brings a team and plays in a tournament, that gets him a lot of experience against good players, and that can help them with winning a spot in the league next year. Let's see. So. We're going to talk about a little bit about the Player of the Week and kind of where we're at with Rookie of the Year. But I had a few questions for Chad first. One of them was, who's the 7th best team in the league right now?
The 7th best team? Gosh, that's terrible. I'm going to have to say it's the Tomahawks right now, just because we beat them all 3 times when we played them, and they're struggling a little. But like you said, the parity from 3 to 7 is so little that it's like that could be totally opposite.
Who did you guys play on Monday?
Who did we play on Monday?
Yeah.
Oh goodness, was it the Ones? It was the Ones.
Okay.
The Ones. They beat us pretty good. Yeah.
So Tomahawks getting booted out of the league because they're the 7th place team right now.
Well, we're probably the 6th place team actually, so we'll have to play them to see who gets booted out. But then we're just going to kick anybody's butt that tries to challenge into the league. So I'm not worried about that.
All right, we're going to get on to the Player of the Week before we run out of time. But real quick, right now, you can pick one person that's leading Rookie of the Year. Who's it going to be? Go.
Briner. Taylor looks good. He's good offensively. He's good defensively. He's great on the mound. I'm going to take him. What do you got?
Ooh, I don't know. Ryan Shen's looking pretty good. He's got double the home runs as last year's home run champion. He might be struggling a little bit this year, but
it seems like Ryan could go into a slump though. He's just trying to hit a home run every single time up there. So we'll see if that continues or if he just keeps hitting home runs. I don't know.
And on that point, we're gonna wrap up here with the Player of the Week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna name all 5. Chad, you're gonna pick one. We're gonna start with Chen. Chen went 6 for 17, 4 home runs. So out of his 6 hits, only 4 home runs, 1 walk, 10 RBIs. Next, we have Nick Sassone. He had 10 hits in 17 at-bats. 10 hits, 17 at-bats, 3 doubles, 4 RBIs. Chen had 10 RBIs, and he had a .632 on-base percentage. And then we have Matty Levine, 10 for 20, but 9 of those were singles. 1 double, 3 RBIs. And on the pitching front, Taylor, did well. 10 innings, no earned runs, 7 hits, 3 walks, 5 runs. But James just dominated pitching-wise. 11 innings, 0 runs, 2-0, 22 Ks in 11 innings, just 1 walk, 3 hits. So the question for you, Chad, does James Stein win Player of the Week for his pitching, or do we give it to a Nick or a Ryan Shen?
The Calicos went 4-0, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
I don't know. Matty Levine's stepping up into that leadoff spot finally, which I've been telling him for months and months that's where he belongs. And doing that and getting 4 wins puts him in this running too. But
you just can't pick Matty over Nick Sassone.
I agree. That's the only problem there. Yeah. But Matty's definitely getting an honorable mention here, and I'm very proud of him to step up and help his team as he has.
Okay, well, obviously Stein barely outperformed Taylor.
Correct.
So whose performance do you think was more valuable this week? If you could replace your 5th hitter with either Ryan Shen and get that performance out of your 5th hitter, or Nick's performance?
So with what I've said from just the Calicos going 4-0, I think James Stein has to be the Player of the Week.
And there you have it, folks. James Stein, Player of the Week. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check out our stream on Twitch. All of our streams will now be on Twitch only, and then we'll be putting some content on YouTube, which will be highlight films and some game films.
Awesome show, man.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you later. Yep.